After making my professional debut in the last episode, there's only two things people really want to talk about. Me living in my friend Joao Felix's shadow, and the history and the past of my family. And I'm not gonna lie, it's been tough. Coming up, living, playing with Joao Felix, of course, he's been a great friend, but when you play alongside someone that great, a lot of times, everyone overlooks you for the superstar. And in regards to my family, it's gonna be tough to get past that. Whenever I play a game, that's all people want to talk about. They don't want to see the potential I have as a footballer. They want to talk about Joao Felix and my family. Playing in Portugal, I'm lucky enough to return to this pitch where it all started, where me and Joao Felix met, where I first touched a football. Reminiscing with some of my other friends who I used to play with, it's good to come back here. Relax, think about the past, and look forward to the future in proving everyone wrong. It's time to get back to work, get back to the grind, improve our skills, boys. We are at Benfica. It is episode 2. Today, we got some exciting games to play, and we're starting it off with a training session, working on our pace, working on our dribbling, working to secure that spot in the starting 11. Yes, we played game 1 in the last episode, but we haven't really proved anything yet to our manager. Benfica is a team that, yes, it's full of a lot of young players, but I might be a little too young, a little too inexperienced, so I need as much experience as possible to gain that trust in my manager. Thank you guys for the support on episode number 1. Holy crap, man. Over 5K likes, 150,000 views. Episode number 2 coming a few days later, and this is a series that I want to make special. It's not something that I'm going to crank out every single day, because then the quality of the uploads will just not be there. I'm just going to be throwing together episodes. The storylines will probably just become stale very fast. My aim with this series is to upload it 2 to 3 times a week. I want this series to be special. When it comes out, I want it to be the first thing you click on. I want you guys to be looking forward, excited for every single episode. So don't worry, boys, it's gonna come. Just know that I'm taking my time creating these, thinking of the storylines, recording. They don't just come together like that. A lot of hard work goes into these things. We're going to get started. Game 1 of this episode. The way these are going to work, yes, last episode had 1 game. We're going to kind of stick to the same format as last year. We play 3 games. We have around 3 to 4 storylines per episode. So you guys are getting as much content as possible, as much in-depth story as physically possible. And look at this, man. Nice little rainbow flick to start things off, and it's a nice save from the keeper. And as we move on in this episode, one thing I want to address really quickly is a comment. People are talking a lot about me ending this series in like 1 to 2 to 3 seasons, and my answer to that is it shouldn't happen as long as you guys are supporting this. As long as I know you guys are liking the series, you're leaving likes, you're leaving comments, then I plan on doing this till our player is 30 years old, 40 years old, however many seasons we can get through. But it's only if you guys are smacking that like button, showing the support. If not, that's kind of my cue to start up a new career. So just a heads up on that as we skip through a few highlights. And we bang it in, boys. 82nd minute. Let's go. Such a boring game up until this point. And we fire it home, picking up the assist and crossing our fingers here that we're going to get the win and we're going to be able to keep this lead. Near post shot OP is back and it's in. Let's go. That's what you love to see, and what a start to our career here with Benfica, picking up some wins, picking up some goals, and I'm hoping we're going to be able to do great things in Liga NOS, as well as great things in the Champions League. We got a winnable group this year. Champions League is something that we'll see how far we can make it, and we'll see if I even get any playing time. That's to be determined, but for now, we're proving ourselves in this team. Yet another win. It's time to find my first place here in Portugal. I've just kind of been living with teammates, living with friends, but now that I've started to get some money, I'm trying to find an apartment to live in until I was interrupted. And a phone call from my manager. He wanted to sit down and have a chat with me about the future. And of course, my heart turned to worst case scenario. Is he selling me? Is he loaning me out? Am I being cut from the team already? Later that night, I arrived to meet with my manager, and oh man, was I nervous. I mean, after just signing this contract, I thought I'd at least get a year to prove myself. Was my time already about to run out with this club? Would I be leaving Benfica almost as soon as I joined this club? What did he want to talk about in regards to my future? Well, boys, it was good news. And luckily, I could take a deep breath as my manager has been impressed with me from what he's been telling me. In my first few games, he said I'd been a standout player, and he understands why Joao Felix recommended me to sign with this team. And the news that he had for me was about the Champions League. He said I'd prove myself enough to get a start in game number 1 against CSKA Moscow. He said they weren't the most difficult team in our group, so I'd need to prove myself over time if I wanted to play against those top-tier European teams in the Champions League. But this is my start, boys. Let's go. We are in the Champions League. We're going to make our debut today. I have updated all of the Champions League groups because EA have not done so yet. For whatever reason, the game just released. They decided, hey, let's not update the rosters. Let's not update the Champions League. Like, that doesn't make sense. I don't know. That is our group. Yes, I know there are a few mistakes in here. I don't think CSKA Moscow is in the Champions League this year. Yeah, they're not. But it's like CSKA Moscow and one other team that should not be in the Champions League I had to put in because for whatever reason, the team that was in there, I either couldn't get in the Champions League for whatever reason, or they just weren't in FIFA to begin with. So I literally could not put them in. Well, let's get into this. It's time to make our Champions League debut. Here we go. Oh boy, I'm nervous, man. But luckily, the nerves from before I met with my manager are gone. I thought for sure he was loaning me out or something. He was going to give me the boot from the team. But no, it was all good news. And here we go. Let's make this Champions League debut. See if we can get a goal or two. More importantly, I just want to win. It may be a little unrealistic to have a goal of winning the Champions League in my first season, especially playing with Benfica. Let's be honest. We don't really have too many superstar players. We sold our superstar player last transfer window, Joao Felix, now with Atletico Madrid. But we got players like Pizzi. We got some good defenders like Jardel. And I think we may have a chance to shock some teams. Maybe a run to the round of 16, to the quarterfinals. Could be realistic. Winning, we'll see. We'll take it one game at a time. In the first game, let's see how we do. It all starts here. It starts at home. Can we make a good first impression? This is kind of my first big game of my career. Yeah, we played in Liga NOS. But, hey, man, this is the Champions League. It's a different environment, atmosphere. And look at this shot we're starting with. Nearly putting it in. The finesse goes to the keeper. But we're making a first good impression here, shaking off the nerves and feeling good out on the pitch. 19th minute, here comes CSKA Moscow. And wow, what a cross. I mean, could you say anything bad about that? I don't think so. Somehow that sneaks its way through. And the nice hop over the flag right there. Wow. It's 1-0. Literally just like that. I go from almost scoring the first goal of the game, then to CSKA Moscow marching downfield and doing this. I still can't believe that. Cross, man, threading the needle, literally, in front of a few defenders. And they put the ball in, and they weren't done there. 40th minute, yet another attack, boys. And it's a second goal. Oh, my God. We're talking about making a run to the quarterfinals. We literally can't even beat the worst team, arguably the worst team in our group. So, God, we might be the worst team in our group after all, man. I don't know. It is a group, though, that I am going to be happy with in terms of just the overall superstar teams not being there. Yes, Leipzig is good, Lyon is good, but you wouldn't really call them god-tier teams in Europe. They're not the Man Cities, the Barças, the Real Madrids, so hey, even though we kind of got an all-around just solid group in terms of teams, there's no one team that you say, hey, they are going to win that group 100%. As we enter halftime, we got a lot of work to do. I got a lot of work to do. I had my one shot up until this point, but other than that, man, I've literally been non-existent on the pitch. It's been a brutal game, and it is Sigurdsson with 2 goals. I'm guessing that's not Gylfi. That is another Sigurdsson. I'm guessing I'm not too familiar with CSKA Moscow, so, hey, hats off to him, man. He's on his way to potentially a hat trick in this one into the 60th minute. Check out the scoop turn right here, and then the shot. Of course, I put it wide, man. I'm choking in this game. I can't find the target in this second half until right here. No, it goes wide yet again. This time, it's even worse. I didn't have room to go far post. I had to take it near post, and wow, yeah, that was not very good. And in the 82nd minute, we had to start scoring soon if we wanted to do something. I'm showing you these shots, man. I'm going to be honest. I started to take over a little bit. My teammates didn't seem to be doing much, so I had to start taking the shots. And in the 85th minute, we got those 4-star skills, and we're using them to our advantage. Hey, man, if EA is going to leave this bug in the game where we start out as a 4-star skiller, I'm going to take advantage of it. Look at this. Finesse shot. This time, the near post is paying off. We put some power behind it, and it's going in with these boys. We're marching back, trying to grab an equalizer in this one. Is it going to happen? Only like 5 minutes remaining. I don't know, but there could be time for one last attack or not. The game would end. Not the best debut in the Champions League. Yes, we get a goal, but we also took a lot of shots and probably should have converted a few more than we did. Rest of my team, they kind of held me back as well. I don't know. We're just shaking off the dust here. Champions League, first game of the group stage. We got plenty more to go. One game is not going to define our Champions League campaign. We got 5 games left to go, so there's plenty of time to make up ground. And speaking of that apartment, that new place to live in Portugal that we were talking about before this game, we found it. Signing with this club, I wasn't giving a lucrative contract. I'm not making the £100,000 a week that some of the superstar players are. I'm making pennies, man. So this is what we got. 1 bedroom, we got a kitchen, we got a nice living space. We got a bathroom, a desk area where I got my laptop, my computer, but this is the crib that we're working with right now. It isn't the most glamorous of course, what I was used to growing up, but it's gonna do for the time being. And look at this, man. We're up to 5-star skills. I should be happy about this, but it's the stupid bug, the stupid glitch. Whenever I unlock that next skill, because I can still unlock more even though I have 5, but with whatever bug is in the game, whenever I unlock that, I'm gonna go down to 0-star skills. So luckily, I do have mods available where I should be able to give us back skills. When I do that, do you want me to just give myself 5-star skills? Should I put it down to 3, 4? What should I do for the skill moves with the mods once I am forced to go back down to 0? Let me know in the comments. Also, you saw there, we're up to a 74 overall in only our 2nd episode. Yes, I did use the +5 attribute boost at the beginning of the career mode. I hope that was okay with you guys. I think it's more fun when our player's higher rated personally. So I want to get this guy up to as high rated as possible. With the My Player, I think you get capped at like, with the striker, I don't know what it is. I know with a cam, you get capped at like 94, 95, I think. As for the striker, I think you get capped around 92, 93 is the highest you can go. I'm not sure, but again, with mods, I can get my dude up to 99. So whenever I reach that sort of cap limit with our player, we can kind of set our own accomplishments that when I score this many goals, I'm allowed to give myself a +5 shooting boost. Different things such as that can be implemented in the series. So I guess that's another question for you. It's early on to ask, but once we reach that cap limit of maxing out our stats, how should we go about adding stats through the cheat engine, the FIFA 20 mods? So let me know about that. Let's get into this game. We're back in the Champions League, man. I guess our manager saw some promise, and for a good reason, because against Lyon, 39th minute, we're starting with a goal, boys, is 1-0. We lost to Moscow in the last game. We're not letting that happen again. We're going for our first win in the Champions League, our 2nd win of the episode. What a goal this was. Some good passing, not a lot of power on this shot. I literally just finessed it with my weak foot and just curled it around the keeper into the side netting. We have another goal. But back to my manager, man. although we didn't win last game, I'm guessing he just saw the strengths in my shooting. He saw my ability to take leadership, to put those shots, even though they weren't on target. Getting in those opportunities and putting those shots close is what he was looking for. I'm trying to be a reliable striker, and so far so good at least. And as we would advance in this game, Pizzi picks up a yellow card, and we end the first half right here. Leon getting a chance to put one in. They can't do it. What a shot this was, man. Whew. Thought for sure that was going in when it left his boot, but it goes wide. And so far, what a first half. What a game it's been. We could be on our way to our first Champions League win of the season as I pick up a goal. But it wouldn't be till we make it in the back to the training room, to the locker room, where my manager told me that he wasn't going to keep me in. He said I'd been putting on a good show, but he doesn't know if I have the stamina to finish this game off. Understandable, but if we end up losing this game, I'm going to be upset at him, and I'm going to probably end up saying something to him, giving him a piece of my mind. Why would you take me out? I scored the only goal. I was in good form. Checking out the calendar, we did end up winning 1-0. My lone goal stood, and we ended up picking up the win right there. And in terms of the group, 2 games in, every single team has 1 win and 1 loss. 3 points for each team. It's going to be an interesting group, and it probably is going to come down to the very last game for this group. I'm excited. And also, I'm looking forward to a new start. I've been doing a lot of thinking, staying up late at night, and what I've come to the conclusion of is I want to start fresh as a new person. My family name almost seems to be cursed. You know what happened in the last episode. So from now on, instead of going as Rafael Ruis, you can call me Rafael. That's it. 1 name, not 2. I'm not living in the shadow of my family, and I'm not going to be known as Joao Felix's friend anymore. The name is Rafael, and believe me, we're going to be a superstar player in this league somewhere along the road. It's just going to take some time. That's it for the episode, boys. Are you excited for the career of Rafael? We're just getting going. 1,000 likes. You know what? No, 2,000 likes. I'll get you that next episode later this week. Thanks for the support. See you boys later.